Hello again everyone. Well, it's time to roll out the red carpet because the Hoover celebrity is here again. This is the second Hoover celebrity I've unboxed on my channel, but this one, unlike the new in the box one that I want to keep new in the box, this one's used, so this will be demonstrated, but it might need a little bit of help. I'm hoping it works. It's supposed to work. It will have the dreaded ticking time bomb, the suppressor, which I think will need to be removed, just like I removed the suppressor from my Hoover Constellation before I did a proper demo of that, or a full house clean. Anyway, I got this for an amazing low price. Normally these go, and it seems to be complete. It seems to have all the tools it should have. And it's got some spare bags. Normally these go for a fair amount of money on eBay, and this was put on, and for some reason I decided I wouldn't bid on it, and nobody bid on it. So it popped up again, and I thought, oh well, I'll bid on it because, you know, I can use this one. So I bid on it, and I think the starting bid was £10. And that's how much I won it for. Nobody else bid on it. So I got it for £17 delivered, which is amazing. But anyway, let's have a look at it. It's a different colour. Oh, it's upside down. I've opened it, well, thought I'd opened it the wrong way. Anyway, we'll start off with the telescopic tube, which, you know, it's not bad condition. The plastic clips are intact, just needs a bit of a clean. So there we go. Telescopic tube. We've got the very basic, but genuine and original Hoover nozzle. The floor rug setting on the back, so it's set to rug at the moment. So on rug, it's got a floating brush. When you use it on floors, you move that little lever and the brush remains static. But there is a possibility as well, you can, I think it says in the instructions, if you put it onto rug setting and then press the brush in and then you put it back to floor, then it raises the brush. So that might be good for lightweight rugs or something that you don't want anything brushing on them. So there we go, Hoover with edged cleaning. This only came with two small nozzles as standard. I think that's genuine. It's a different sort of shape. This one's made in the USA, so it will have some differences in the tools, but that's your all-purpose brush as opposed to the all-purpose nozzle that has those red rubber teeth. And here is the Hoover Crevice tool. That's in very good condition. Hardly used at all. So that's good. So that's the three tools that come as standard. Let's check the hose for damage. But it's a little bit dirty, not very dirty. Can't see any splits in the hose. Now, is it genuine? It seems genuine-ish, but there's no suction control. I'm not sure if this had one. Doesn't actually say Hoover on the clip. Does it say Hoover on the... Well, it doesn't say Hoover on these either, and I'm pretty sure that that's genuine. I think it's genuine. It's quite a short hose. With this, oh, we've got plenty of bags. These are the USA made dust bags. I think it's a pack of 3, is it? Yes. Pack of 3 H style bags. Full packet, and then we've got one. Oh, it's so big it doesn't even fit on the screen. There, just about. So there's a spare one there. Oh, hang on a minute, folks. Another pack of bags. £2.98 they cost. So that's good, isn't it? The only thing it doesn't have his instruction book, that would have been the icing on the cake, wouldn't it? Right, a little bit of light rusting, but anyway, not too bad. There we go. It's never going to be perfect, this one, because as I said, there's a few little rust marks. I mean, it is possible for someone to spray this, but to get it to match completely would be quite difficult. As I said, I'm quite happy to have a new in the box one. The new in the box one I've got is this sort of burnt orange colour, a bit more like the shirt I'm wearing, that sort of colour. This is the sort of yellowy mustardy colour. Still got made in the USA sticker underneath the round Hoover logo. The cable is all in one piece and that looks original. There's no suspicion in my mind that that cable has been changed ever, and it's got a nettle. Now what, so there was a model I unboxed fairly recently that had a nettle brand plug, so that plug is age appropriate. Oh yes, that was it. It was the Constellation. That's funny, isn't it? It was the orange and white or yellow and white Constellation that had, I think it was the same style as well, nettle branded plug. I will check that that's been wired up correctly before I plug this in. Turning the machine over, we can just about, I think, read the rating sticker, so we could possibly date this. So this is Hoover Cleaner model S3005. I think it says 003 after that. 240 volts, 50 hertz, 800 watts. Serial is S3005 709 12992. I think that says. Made in the USA by the Hoover Company. Is this 09? I don't know if that means this is 1980. It could be 1980. Or was it 1970? I think it's possibly 1980. I'm not sure. Anyway, here's the underside. It's not too bad. A little bit scratched up, as obviously they always do. Get scratched. The constellations and the celebrity air rides, because obviously they were celebrities with wheels. So they always get scratched. But again, you've got the little hole here. So we can use it for blowing. We can line it up correctly, there we go. So that can be used for blowing out dust in inaccessible places. It has the traditional toggle switch as seen on the Constellations. That switch seems okay. These switches can sometimes go a little bit dodgy, but that one seems to have a proper action to it. You've also, on the front, again, this shares another component with the Constellation. It's got the same metal clip to open up the bag door. So basically, this is a lot later, came later than the Constellation. I think it was launched in the 70s. So I don't think this is a 1970 model. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and check when these were actually launched in the UK. But these ran alongside the Constellations and tended to have a little bit more power to them because it's a higher wattage motor. So look at that. So that's the original paint finish, completely undamaged obviously because it's inside. Again, it's all metal. It reminds me of now what do they call those, is it Jamaican bands? Oh, what is that instrument that is basically like a dustbin? I think they may be made out of metal dustbins, and then they hollow out, they do something on the top, and they you know, what is that? Crikey, I'll have to look that up. Completely gone blank. Well, I'm an old man now, so I forget things. Of course, you've got the wrap-round furniture guard, and you need it on this because it tends to float better, in my experience and memory. It tends to float better than the Constellation. It's got a little bit more airlift because the motor is obviously a bit more powerful, so the blowing is a little bit more powerful than the Constellation. Weight-wise, I don't know, it's probably on par. This isn't original. Yes, well, the owners had a go, the original owners had a go at cutting that to shape, but it's obviously cut that a bit too small. Now I will use something else, obviously. I've got plenty of sort of generic filters I can cut to fit. I'll try and do a little bit of a better job. The thing I must do, if I've got one somewhere, is a compass. Do you remember using a compass at school? Normally at our school, the compasses were used as a weapon, but they are supposed to be used to draw perfect circles. So I think a compass would be the thing to do, to try and get one to fit nice and tightly. But for now, you know, it'll do. It's fine. Just shove that back in. So this is well, we'll take the bag out. So it's got some dirt in it. Not too bad. So that's the huge bag that's a whole yard long, according to the old TV commercial that I've got on my channel. So if you search Hoover Celebrity on my channel page, you'll find this. You'll find the New in the Box Celebrity, and you also find the Celebrity TV commercial, the UK TV commercial, and that was definitely a 70s commercial. Okay, so basically, you know, like the Constellation, very simple, no bells and whistles, no bag check indicators or anything, just a motor and a switch. That's basically all it is. Pretty easy to get into these. In fact, I'm going to have a look. Since I had a look inside the Constellation, I might as well undo these 1, 2, 3 screws, and they don't match, so I'm not sure if this has been opened before. It's odd that we've got 2 Phillips type screws. Sorry, there's another screw as well just here. So I'll undo those. We'll lift off this motor cover and we'll just have a look at the simple motor that's inside this Hoover Celebrity. Okay then, let's lift up the motor cover. I think it should just come away without the motor. Yes, pretty clean inside that. When I give this a bit of a clean, it's not going to need a lot, is it? I mean, look at that. I'll wash this part, bit of hot soapy water, dry it of course, fit a new filter, so that's fine. The motor looks a bit like a Freedom motor. Ah, now there's that awful suppressor. Oops. Right, just, ooh, that's come away. Now I'm going to have to look how to bypass the suppressor there. You see that ticking time bomb? I'm going to keep the suppressor in, obviously, just for quickly turning it on. And just have a quick, if I can have a look in the, it's very hard to see the state of the brushes and everything. The carbon brushes are on either side. Just where this black holder is, you just unscrew one screw and then the carbon brush comes out. So obviously there's one either side of the commutator, and obviously the fan is located underneath the suction fan. But this obviously works by blowing the air out of the base, creating a partial vacuum inside the chamber here, and obviously a partial vacuum has to be filled so the air rushes in to fill it. You've also got, again, this is very important, if you ever take one of these apart, you must make sure that this, couple of layers at least, is it 3 layers of plastic? 1, 2, there's 3 layers of quite thick plastic material here that creates some of the insulation. Especially being an all-metal vacuum cleaner, it's important that it's insulated. Any electrical components are insulated well away from the metal, because of course metal is a very good conductor of electricity, so if this became live, you touch it, I don't think you'd be very happy. But yes, there's do not lubricate on this motor, which I say I won't do, but it looks fine. Obviously, looks aren't everything, you can't tell until it's turned on. Unless this has been cleaned up by someone previously, it's probably had quite an easy life. If this is how it was, I don't know, it's unusual to find something this clean. So anyway, for now I'll just pop that back. As I said, I'll be taking that off, just seeing how I take out the suppressor, what I have to do. what wires I have to join or remove. So that goes back there. So I'll just screw that back up, pop the bag back in, and then we'll switch on and hopefully this will glide into life. Well folks, it's that time again in the video for me to actually switch on this vintage Hoover Celebrity, and my heart is in my mouth, as it always is at this stage. Always an apprehensive moment for me. I don't know if you as a viewer are bothered, but of course if it blows up, it's fine for you, but not fine for me. But anyway, you're watching it now, so I think everything's turned out okay. If you're seeing this, I'm still alive. I was able to upload. So let's take a seat. I don't know if it's on. The button is down. That could be on. So we'll see. Here goes. Right, it didn't work. Perhaps off is up. Little bit of a false start, I'm sorry about that. Right, okay then. Whew. Well, whew. That's okie dokie. Oh, it's done a dirty on my carpet. Now, I think that dirty, I'm not sure if there is a diffuser under here. I'm going to have to take it apart a bit more, take this base part off. I know that there is a spongy, foamy sort of sound insulating. It's like a ring shape with bits jutting out of it. If that's perished, then, well, I'll be able to do something, but I won't be able to get that part, no way. What I'm going to do though, and what I should have done in the first place, and it's what I did with the Constellation, I should have connected the hose to the blower, shouldn't I? And then anything that's going to blow out of this cleaner in the initial minute will be blown into the bag. So just going to do this little thing again. So hopefully the suction will catch anything else coming out. So turn it on again. It sounds fine. You might be able to notice it looks a little bit shinier than it did, because I did actually spend a little bit of time giving it a brief polish with T-Cut. That's marvellous stuff, T-Cut. Test an inconspicuous area first before you T-Cut anything, especially if it's plastic, but this is all metal. And it's really brought out the shine. This will look even better when it's cleaned a little bit more. After another T-cutting, a layer or two of polish on the top, but you can already see, I can see in my viewfinder that looks a lot better. So we will pop the hose on, and first of all I'll see if I can pick up these bits that it poo-pooed out at the start, and hopefully they won't mark the carpet, but it doesn't matter. As I said before in other videos, this carpet is due for replacement. Plus I can use a carpet washer, can't I? So I'll just attach the old ones, which have had a rudimentary T-cutting as well. Looks a little bit better, but very quick. What I tend to do with the aluminium ones, use a Brillo pad first. I think you have those in the USA. Basically it's wire wool with a little bit of sort of soapy detergent in. So this is what I tend to clean up the tubes with, aluminium tubes, and the handle. Then it can have a T-cut, and then a final metal polish with something like Mother's metal polish or something along those lines, a similar metal polish. Okay, so we'll attach that, and we'll just pick up these little bits, hopefully. Yes, so unless this machine's about to blow up, I'm really, really pleased with it. For £10, I can't believe it. I was expecting to pay a lot more than £10. I mean, it didn't have an excellent photograph in the listing, but I could see that it was complete. It had all the bits it should have. It had the spare bags. I could see that the top was a little bit damaged, but obviously, you know, a bit of a polish and tea cutting. That's looks a lot better. There's no, as I said, I'm not going to try and respray this. Personally, I think it's better to leave them as original as you can, even if it means it's showing signs of use. It's going to look a little bit better, not much better than this, because it's very good anyway. The hose will get soaked in some biological washing powder and then dried for a long period of time. It's not a stretch hose, so it will take a quicker to dry, but it's pretty clean as you can see, but it'll look a little bit whiter. Also, another tip, apart from using biological washing powder, I also put in a scoop of that Oxygen Boost laundry additive you get in tubs. That also helps, especially if it's a white item. It does help to get it really, really clean. So we'll have a little bit of a play. Fantastic. It does float better than the Constellation. The Maytag Satellite, the new version, or the newer Hoover Constellation that was released in the early 2000s, that does float well, but that's got a 2000 watt motor in. Can you imagine what this would be like with a 2000 watt motor in it? Blimey, it would take off almost. I see though that it's been a bit naughty again on the carpet. It's done a dirty. So yes, this will require a little bit more in-depth cleaning. As I said, I need to remove the suppressor, so it's a little less taxing on my heart when I switch these things on, knowing that that thing's been removed. But all in all, I'm absolutely chuffed with this. Lovely. I like this nozzle as well. I've used this nozzle before. We got this nozzle on UK made Hoover Porta Powers. Well, and also the USA made Porta Power came with this nozzle. But it feels really nice to use. With the floating brush at the back, it's not too rigid, so it pushes nicely. And it does have a little bit of a grooming action. And it seems pretty effective for such a simple design. I'm so pleased with this. It's nice to get something, don't blow up on me yet. It's nice to get something I'm pleased with. I was going to say for a change, most of the things I'm pleased with. Sometimes they have issues, don't they? But this one, this is better than expected. So there you go, that's the Hoover S3005 Celebrity Air Ride Vacuum Cleaner. Absolutely thrilled with this. This is where you store the cord. Try not to wrap around the cord too tightly when you're storing the cord away on a vacuum. If you're storing vacuums long term and they don't have automatic cord rewind, I'd advise not actually wrapping the cord around. Just have the cord loosely coiled nearby. But that's how it stores. Bit difficult to put this in a cupboard. Bit difficult for stairs as well, because it doesn't actually stand on its end, does it? So you can't do that. You can use it on stairs. I did show in the instruction book of my new in the box version that they show it balancing precariously on a stair on its side. Not very good. It's not too heavy. You can carry it. Because it's so slim as well, you can carry it by your side like this while you're cleaning the stairs. But then of course you're going to get all this hot air blasting at you from underneath. But isn't that a fantastic vacuum cleaner. If you're watching at this stage, you must agree with me, because to me it's one of the, it is slightly iconic. It's a machine I remember from my childhood, and I think whatever age you are, what you're into, if you're into vacuum cleaners, and you possibly are if you watch this, or you've just seen the thumbnail and you want to see this again because your mother had it. We do like things from our childhood, whether it be the toys we had, the vacuums our mothers used, the cars our fathers drove, whatever. There's just something about owning something from your past, especially your childhood or your early years, that is very nostalgic. And that's one of the reasons, there are many, but that's one of the reasons why I collect vacuum cleaners. Obviously I collect a lot of modern machines and use and demonstrate a lot of modern ones, but I have a very soft spot mainly for Hoover cleaners from the 1970s and 80s. They're my favourite eras and favourite make of cleaner from that era. If you have any comments or questions about this Hoover celebrity, please comment below. And for more of the same, you can check out my playlists. I've got playlists of other vintage vacuum cleaners, other Hoover vacuum cleaners, Dyson vacuum cleaners, pneumatic vacuum cleaners, Shark vacuum cleaners, carpet washers, and a few washing machines as well. So check out those videos on my channel, and I'll see you all soon for the next video. Bye for now.
Roll out the red carpet. The celebrity is here. The Hoover Celebrity Air Ride Cleaner. Power. Gliding on a cushion of air. 800-watt motor power. Power to spare for all your cleaning needs. And it goes on cleaning when others need new bags. This dust bag's a whole yard long. Insist on the Hoover Celebrity. Now in new copper and gold at a down-to-earth price.